Hey guys, it's Claus. Welcome back. Welcome back. Did you miss it? I missed it. The 105 leFH18B2, the leaf blower, the French premium artillery, was on sale. Yeah, it was on sale, and just for a weekend, I think, and some people bought it. And I think it has rejuvenated everyone's enthusiasm for artillery in the game. This is a French, I think it's the only premium artillery. And some lucky players snatched it up here. Now the thing about this this artillery is that when artillery was reworked, quote-unquote balanced or nerfed back in 9.18 or whenever it was, this thing was left untouched. But no one could get it unless you were lucky enough to have had it from a long time ago. And Wargaming made this available, and some people picked it up. So why don't we watch a game and do a little bit of a review on it. One lucky fellow, Mark Van Dam from the DSK clan. Shout out to you guys! Bought one, and this is his first game. And might as well watch his game and talk a little bit about it. Now, artillery was reworked, well, nerfed really. I can't remember, 9.18 to some few patches ago. And this thing was not affected by that nerf. It's unbelievable. It's got amazing statistics. This thing has a 10.5 centimeter gun, and despite all artillery being nerfed to just have HE, low pen HE that does a certain amount of damage, usually not penetrating, this thing was left with its AP shell that does 410 damage, a heat shell with 104 pen that does 350 damage, an HE shell with 64 pen that does 350 damage. This is in tier 5. It shoots 6.5 rounds a minute. It's incredible. It's got one of the highest fire rates of any artillery that I know of. Tier for tier, this is regarded as the most overpowered artillery in the game. This tank was removed from the in-game store since 8.6 because it was just so overpowered and could devastate. This thing could keep you permatracked. It reloads so fast that if it hits a heavy tank, it can just permatrack you. So to rejuvenate people's enthusiasm for artillery, Wargaming made this available, and old Mark Van Dam has got one here, and he's rolled out in his first game and is ready to take his first shot. He's aiming. Oh! Looks like he hit the gun barrel of one of his teammates there and splashed himself for quite a bit of damage. This Stug 3 player, who is this guy? It's Kax Morik in the Stug 3G. He seems to be quite interested in this new tank. He's getting quite closely here and trying to have a good look at him. He's peering at him. But anyway, this thing, let's go through some more of the statistics here. It goes 28 kilometers an hour. It has a 22 degrees per second traverse speed, 9.45 power to weight ratio. The damage per minute is 2,644. That is amazing. A 5-second aim time, which is incredible. It carries 40 rounds, and you can pump out those 40 rounds in one game. The other thing about you can pump them out because you have such a high rate of fire. You could shoot 40 times. This thing also has 390 meter view range. It was never nerfed. Look at them, just lobbing those shots one after another. And it's got people really enthusiastic about artillery in the game. You notice in some games now at the low tiers, you'll see 3 of these on each team. And it's made a lot of the players so excited about playing with artillery, like this Stug player here who just can't seem to get enough of this leaf blower. They call it the leaf blower because it blows the shots just like, you know, non-stop. And this Stug is particularly interested in, maybe he's snapping some screenshots. He's obviously feeling a little frustrated that he did not get one. Or maybe he's just observing the play style, how you're supposed to play this thing. But basically, what you do with this thing is you just roll out and you let your team spot enemies, and you just take shot after shot after shot after shot, faster than some heavier medium tanks, and just shit over everyone on the enemy team. And with 3 of these on each side now, since they've recently been sold, the gameplay has just been fantastic at the middle tiers. And he hit the gun barrel of his Stug again. The Stug is peering too close. He's down to 1 HP. And that is effectively one of the weaknesses of this tank, is it is an artillery, and it does lob a huge explosive shell at the enemies. But if you should happen to hit someone's gun barrel, you will do 0 damage. And in fact, if you hit your teammate's gun barrel, the splash will damage you, but it will not damage your teammate or his gun, which is a bit of a negative. And I could tell here that this is his first game, and he's not used to the mechanics and how to play this thing. And he keeps aiming at his teammate's gun, which is not a good strategy. You should try to avoid shooting your teammate's guns, because you do tend to splash yourself. But I'm having all of these artillery now running around at tier 5 and 6 and 4 has made for a great improvement in the gameplay. As you can see, the Stug is really excited. And here comes his teammate in the M41. It's probably going to try and help him out here and give him some pointers. There you go, there you go. You have to shoot people and avoid hitting their guns. That tiny little pencil that sticks out of the tank, the little gun barrel, absorbs all the damage. So if you can avoid hitting the gun there, you can see that you do a lot of damage. And with this knowledge, he's going to be able to excel in this leaf blower. I did not get one myself. I didn't know they were on sale, and I missed out. And it looks like there's... Oh, he's been killed by the enemy. I guess he's... It's a Stug's life. I guess he didn't really bother even shooting him. He might have hit the gun barrel on that Stug and done no damage. But trust me, guys, reintroducing this pre-nerf overpowered artillery back into the game has invigorated artillery aficionados, and even people that don't play artillery get to interact more now with these, like the leaf blower that can at least put up a fight. Not like some of these weaker artilleries, like the Grillet here that old Powerage 13 from the Fluke clan is playing. Now, you cheap bastard, what are you doing playing one of these artilleries that you could just grind? Don't you know that you could just go out and buy one that's a lot more powerful, that you could dominate more? And I think some of his teammates are pretty pissed with him that, what is this guy doing on our team here in a Grillet? Doesn't he know that the leaf blower was on sale? He could have went out and bought one, but no, he was too cheap, and now their team is at a disadvantage, because you'll notice the enemy team has a leaf blower. So here you go. The enemy team has an artillery that can shoot every 5 or 6 seconds, depending on crew skills. It will be lobbing shells left, right, and center, tracking and doing damage like there's no tomorrow, and these guys have to play with a Grillet. Now, how selfish can you be? I mean, can't you just whip out the credit card and slap down some cash and get yourself something competitive? Well, what's wrong with you? Understandably here, Waffle Stompers and Dark Star Fox, driving their T-3485 and T-3485M, are obviously quite upset that their team now has to play at a disadvantage. And it's terrible when this happens, when you have one particular player on your team who's too cheap to go and get the pay-to-win tank, so that at least his team will have a chance of winning. And after going through all the effort of issuing this tank for sale on the weekend so that players could go out and buy it, and reinvigorating everyone's interest in artillery, everyone hoping, oh, I hope I have a leaf blower on my team, hope I have a leaf blower on my team, and then to launch a game, and even though it was available for 2 full days, to have someone on your team that was too cheap and still insists on playing the free one, putting his whole team at a disadvantage, and now there's players on his team that are disappointed, were hoping that they could fight side by side with the overpowered, unnerfed artillery that was just released, and was so easy to pick up. So easy, you just have to click on the premium shop and click on its picture and enter your credit card number, and it appears in your garage. It's almost no effort. But still, some selfish players could not even do that and drag their team into battle at a disadvantage, and in fact increased their own team's chances of losing because they were too cheap to go buy the better artillery with all the better stats, for what, 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, whatever. Yeah. No, I'll just drive out in my Grillet and wallow around. The poor team that has to deal with this, it's just, and I'm sure that Wargaming did some analysis and some test groups and got some feedback from the community contributors and the population and the whole community, and it must have been obvious that the introduction of an overpowered pre-nerf artillery into the game would reinvigorate and excite the community. They would become passionate about future teamwork that they could be involved with these overpowered artilleries. New strategies, new friendships that could develop when playing with them or against them. After being killed by one, permatracked and hit over and over again, you could make a new friend. You could invite him to your friends list. You could send him a post-game personal message and say, you did such a great job killing me in that game with your overpowered artillery. Please, could we platoon? And I could play with you. We could play together as new friends, and you could help me win some games and increase my stats. The possibility for positive outcomes were endless. But of course, this was ruined by a few selfish individuals who refused to fork out the money and buy one. And unfortunately, not all of us get to have a leaf blower on our team. Now, not everyone was cheap and selfish about it. Some people just missed the event. Like me, I was away for the weekend. I didn't buy one myself, and I feel terrible. If maybe they could put it for sale again. If we all bought one, then everyone could play it at tier 4, 5, and 6. We wouldn't have to the detriment of our teammates, play any of those other free ones. Those ones on the tech tree that you could just get for free. Like, come on. And in fact, I feel so bad that I'm going to just avoid tier 5 and 6 and probably 4 for a little while now, because I just feel so bad that I don't have one. And I certainly do not want to put my teammates at a disadvantage because I'm too cheap to go out and buy the overpowered pay-to-win one. Well, in my case, I just missed it. Like I said, I was away, and I missed my chance. I can only hope that they put it for sale again. And there are some players that are so ashamed and so distraught over not having bought one because for whatever reason they missed it. Like these two guys here, Anthony and Last Minute, who are driving different artilleries and did not get one and just feel terrible, and it's affecting their game. And these two guys, they feel so ashamed and so disheartened and distraught and uneasy with themselves about not having got one that they're just hoping it comes on sale again so that they could buy one. And even when they play their other artilleries now in different tiers, they are so grief-stricken with the fact that they did not get a leaf blower that they would rather blow their own heads off than endure another battle without one. So I don't know if you guys got one. I didn't get one. Leave it in the comments. Let me know if you were able to snatch one there. And Wargaming, please put it on sale again, because I think there's a lot of players in the community that know they've been cheap and they've skimped out, and they should have bought the overpowered one instead of playing the free one. And if you put it on sale again, I'm sure more people will buy it, and it will just invigorate everyone's, rejuvenate the enthusiasm for artillery in this game.